Yogis, hi friends, welcome to our practice. I've got two side-lying dogs here, Lena and Camille, and my friend Joseph in the background. Going to be practicing with us today. Welcome. It's a beautiful, hot and humid day here in Southwest Michigan. Really great day to get into some deep stretching. So we know yoga is about lots of different things, and one of those things is finding a deep stretch sometimes, and that's what I feel coming on. So let's see what we can muster today. Find your spot, find your grounding, find your place, your purpose, back to the calling, back to the mat. It's time for your practice. Customize, find your props that you need, find your assist in the positions. See if you can allow yourself to really drop in today. Feel your sit bones on the edge of a blanket or a bolster, or maybe just on the floor. Feel the slightly tilted forward pelvic bowl. Anterior tilt of the pelvis. It's the natural position for our pelvis in seated and standing postures. It inspires the rest of the spine to find its alignment. Feel the release of the weight of your legs to the earth. Feel the softening of the muscles in your hips. Maybe envision the ball in the socket here in an externally rotated place. Maybe take your hand back of your left hand into the small of your back and feel the gentle arch, the natural curve. Perhaps you're somebody that has too much of a curve. See if maybe you need to reel that in a little bit and find the neutral. Hands to the bottom of the rib cage, draw the low ribs in, either mechanically with the hands or energetically with your sense of your Uddiyana Bandha, this bind of the low rib ring. A very mobile segment. We keep this tucked in, and then the chest comes tall from the opening, the upper back. So trying not to push the low ribs forward, but keeping those in and the chest coming tall. Perhaps you can feel your shoulder blades releasing down your back, elbows releasing towards the hips, towards the ground. Maybe slide them back towards your hips a bit, open the chest, broaden your collarbones, expose the heart chakra. The head finds its way back to bobblehead place now, right? The weight of your head, maybe 15 pounds or so, evenly balanced over the spinal curves. The muscles in the neck and the front quiet down, the muscles in the back, the upper traps quiet down, and we just find the resting position on those spinal curves. Close your eyes. Take a moment here, a little internal architectural tour. Your system today, what do the bones feel like? Symmetrical, asymmetrical? Any discomforts? Any warning signs? What's going on in the mind? Is it a monkey mind? Is it a quiet mind? Where are you on the spectrum? We'll start by finding our breath, this conscious breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, or finding a way that feels organically right to you. Inhaling through the nose warms, hydrates, purifies the air, the prana, the life force. Really feel it today, wherever you're sitting around the world. Breathe it in. See if you can take in that fresh prana, that food for our cells. Feel it go way deep down into the lung beds and exchange there for the carbon dioxide. Blow it out through your pursed lips. Through pursed lips, we hear and feel that exhaust as it leaves our system. In the exhaust, all the physiological, mental debris we no longer need. It's our purification process. Beautiful way to start the practice. Acknowledging this inhalation, exhalation. Trying to make your exhalations maybe twice as long as the inhalation. It's a potent stimulus for relaxation response in our bodies. So let's sit for a minute. Find your breath today and maybe unite your breath. with our fellow yogis, exploring that inhale and long, slow, deep exhalations. Before you open your eyes, take your thumbs, cross them like bird wings, place them lightly over your heart. Feel the heartbeat inside your chest, right? That magnificent heartbeat, keeping us alive and healthy and vibrant. Maybe the warmth on the outside of the body in your palms. Maybe the green light emanating from that heart chakra. Stop for a moment here and feel your humanness. Blink the eyes open, look at the front of your mat. Bring your gaze up. Let's go ahead and offer it up right away. Take it up. Hands stretch up to the heavens. Sit bones go deep into the ground. We have this base, this support, these roots, so we can begin to rise. Somewhere halfway in the lower part of your belly, here is the turnaround point of the grounding and the lifting. Close your eyes for a moment and see if you can maybe identify that. Where is the pull and the tethering, the anchoring to the earth for our stability? And where is the rise to the heavens, offering it up and feeling the length to your spine here, your side bodies. Pull the low ribs in, look up at your hands and see your thumbs go back behind you more from the opening of the upper back, the de-rounding of that thoracic spine more than the cranking open of the shoulders. Put your head back between your elbows, touch your palms together, interlace your fingers, take your index fingers to the sky for your steeple hands. See if maybe you can touch your elbows right to your ears. Low ribs are contained, back bend the upper back. A little side bending here. Open the ribs, the space between the rib cage, maybe the waistline lengthening, or a muscle called quadratus lumborum that separates the rib cage from the pelvis. Find that release. Nice. Come on back to neutral. Press your palms together. Inhale, and on your exhale, lower down through main central, stopping at third eye, tip of the nose, lips, throat, and you end up on your big heart. Thumbs on the heart. Go ahead and raise the heart. Find a little bit of that gentle back bend of our upper back. Spin the hands to the earth and let's open the neck. Fingertips touch ground. Sit bones touch the ground. We find the lift from that, invigorating the muscles that lie next to the spine, our multifidi muscles, to periscope the spine nice and tall. Inhale. On the exhale, hold the right hand to the floor and let the left ear soften towards the left shoulder. Bow into it. Right, allow the weight of the head and gravity to do all the work. Very little pulling, more just a softening. Inhale the head back to center, exhale to the right. Left hand is the anchor. From that, we can feel the stretch and the lengthening. Left side of the neck, upper traps, scalenes. Inhale back to center. On the exhale, left hand turn with the chin on the horizon line. Keeping on the horizon line is our advantageous position for finding the rotation. Try to keep it in the 7 vertebrae in your neck. When you get to the end of your range, do a little shaking of the head. Yes. Kind of carve out some of the path. The head will come back to neutral, and perhaps you've got a little bit more range available. Inhale back through center, exhale around to the right, chin on horizon line. Taking it around slowly, exploring the end of the range. Taking the chin up and down in a yes movement. Chin back to neutral, and around it goes. Inhale back through center, exhale around to the left again. Maybe a little less creaky and snappy, maybe a little smoother in your range. Let's go a little deeper. Inhale. On the exhale, hold the right hand to the floor, bring the chin out towards or to the left shoulder point. Sternocleidomastoid, deeper scalenes on that right side. Inhale the head back to center, exhale around to the right. Inhale, exhale, chin out towards or to right shoulder point. Inhale back through center and slowly lower your chin to your jugular notch, the spot between the 2 collarbones, a handy little shelf to fit that chin into. Again, keep it in the neck if at all possible. Feel the stretch up into the occiput and the skull. Inhale, and on your exhale, trace your chin along the line of your right collarbone. A tight chin tuck, take it around. If the chin starts to leave the collarbone, that's where you stop. Otherwise, explore the end of the range. Inhale back through center and exhale around to the left. Chin on collarbone for safety. Take it around. Squeezing our thyroid, parathyroid glands here. A little endocrine tune-up. Inhale it back through center. On the exhale, reaffirm the press of the sit bones and the hands. Pull the low ribs in. Bring the heart nice and tall. The head will come up. Pause for a moment here, lifting the crown to the sky. See if you can find as many vertebrae as possible to share the back bend now from the ribs up. Inhale. Exhale, low ribs pull in. We start to push the heart forward. Feeling that sweeping motion, controlling the weight of the head as you let it back, using the weight to help in the stretch, but very slowly allowing it to happen. If there's any dizziness or pain in the spine, back off. Maybe go for the stretch from your chin to your collarbones. Inhale your head back up, neutral position. Take your L hands, thumbs go on the tops of the thighs, that's our grounding. Inhale. We'll do a forward bend here real slowly. If you push your thighs down, rock the pelvis up. Now the sit bones will leave the earth. Envision the skeleton here, your pelvis rolling over the fixed thighs. Pull the low ribs in, keep the chin tucked and bring the crown of the head towards the front of your mat. You're using your abdominals and your back extensors as a decelerator here. Go ahead and take your hands out in front of you now for down dog hands, index fingers forward, thumbs towards each other. Roll the imaginary marble under your index towards your thumb and press your fingertips into the ground to pucker the palms. That'll keep your wrists stable. Go ahead and spin the elbow creases towards the sky now. Let the hand stays intact on the earth. Inhale, and on your exhale, drop your elbows either to the ground or to a prop. Dock into something. And then press the hands and elbows into the earth. Feel the curves in your spine there lengthening out, so we're not dropping to the ground from rounding the back. It's the opposite. Releasing the heart towards the earth and finding the length to the spine. At the very end of your range, let the crown of your head go. Use the weight of your head for a little traction. Inhale the head back up, and then walk your hands back up to tall sit. Beautiful. Switch your legs now to your uncommon cross if you're sitting in half lotus. Maybe do a press of the fist to the earth and lift the pelvis, rock it out and find the comfort again. Maybe use the prop as need be. Take your arms up for your cactus arms, widespread fingers. Open and close the fists. Move the energy through your hands. See if you can feel the release in the forearms. Good. Shine the palms forward now and bend the middle finger down where it touches your palm, a very potent acupressure point, an energy point. Open the hand up again, and out of that point, shoot your laser beams right to the front of the room, top of the mat there. Feel the energy moving through you, in you, out of you. Good. Take the thumbs back. Now for hitchhiker, shoulders inhale, and on your exhale, drop the thumbs back. Rotating from the ball and socket in the shoulder, trying not to move the spine so much. Inhale the hands forward, and then drop them down. So no rounding of the back, but try to find that internal spiral in your ball and socket in your shoulder. Beautiful. Take them back up. Inhale, exhale, thumbs go back and drop them back. Inhale back to center, exhale, take them down. Inhale them back up, and on the exhale, fly machine arms, touch the palms and elbows together. Turn the palms to face you. Inhale, and on your exhale, push the sides of the hands and elbows together. Isometrically, we take them up. Stop when your elbows start to come apart. See if maybe you can get your elbows up as high as the nose of the third eye. Pause. And then pull the elbows apart, index and middle touch. Inhale, exhale, draw the elbows down slowly through that fluid. Reset the whole shoulder girdle complex. Let's go through that 2 more times. Taking it up. Taking it out. Inhale, and on your exhale, dropping it down. Inhale. Exhale, push up. Inhale, take them apart. Exhale, drop them down. Elbows at your side. Turn your light bulbs. Try to make the wrists as free as possible, pronating and supinating the forearms. Turn it into your queen wave hands. And then up overhead for your hallelujah arms. Back down, queen wave. And then light bulb hands. Come shake them out. Good. Take your hands today behind you. Interlace your fingers. See if you can have your palms touching so the whole palmar surface of the hand stays together. Touch the thumbs to the floor, the prop behind you, and then spin your shoulders back. Keep your thumbs on a prop or on the ground and walk them back a little bit. So don't lean back, but just walk the thumbs back. So you'll extend your shoulders in this internally rotated place. Feel the head is free here. Maybe feel the stretch across the tops of the shoulders. Go ahead and walk the hands over to the right a little bit. So the thumbs stay on the ground and pull them over towards the right. A little semicircle. A little bit more stretch, left side of the pectorals. Beautiful. Take it back through center on the inhale, and on the exhale, sweep it around to the left. So not turning the torso, but trying to keep the chest forward. Beautiful. Take them back, and one last time, take them back behind you. One more time, open the heart. Beautiful. Take them out now. Maybe a little tingly. Grab your imaginary tennis balls and flap your wings. Warming up our shoulders so beautifully here. Finding the movement of the joint as well as the blood perfusing through the tissues. Let's fly. So touch down on the earth and then bring them back up. Fly. Nice and easy here, making it elegant and graceful. We know what's happening next. These pterodactyls will turn into eagles. Let's take the right on top, left on bottom. If you can, fit the fingers of the left hand into the palm of the right. If that's not working, then back-to-back hands. You can always have your elbows unwound too if that feels better. Try to keep the tricep flesh parallel to the floor and the shoulder blades relaxed. Inhale. On the exhale, push the right elbow into the left, draw the shoulder blades forward. Feel that protraction, right? The movement of the shoulder blades on the rib cage. Inhale them back to neutral, and on the exhale, pull the shoulder blades back behind you. Pinch the pencil between the blades, and maybe you'll mobilize that mid-thoracic spine. Inhale the arms to neutral, and on the exhale, make a right hand turn. So we're using the right arm to push the left around, stretching the back of the left shoulder, posterior deltoid rotator cuff. Look over the right shoulder, see if you can see behind you. Inhale it all back to center. And on the exhale, head stays neutral, but make a left hand turn with the arms. Take it around to the left. Yep. So just opposite side now, back of the right shoulder. Turn the gaze over the left shoulder now. See if you can find that freedom of rotation that we began at the beginning of practice here. Yep. Inhale back to center. And on the exhale, just drop the elbows. So don't round the back yet, just drop the elbows and stretch the lower traps and rhomboids. Shoulder blades will start to ride up the rib cage and then bow into it. Maybe the left elbow to the bottom of the cage, the heart will direct towards the earth. Let the crown of the head go if that's part of your abilities. Feel that beautiful open back. Inhale it back up, and on the exhale, pull the low ribs in and take the elbows up. Just the elbows to begin. Move the shoulder blades, and the hand goes between the shoulder blades, the imaginary hand pushing into the heart. Lift the heart. Feel that beautiful opening of that thoracic spine. And then perhaps let the head release back if it feels safe. Inhale everything back to neutral. So beautiful. Release the arms down. And let's take them up the opposite way. Notice maybe this side is completely different. Maybe they feel like bookends. Find your start position. Inhale. Exhale, take left into right. Push left elbow into right elbow. Draw those blades forward. Inhale back to center, and on the exhale, pinch the pencil between the shoulder blades. Mobilize thoracic spine. Retract shoulder blades. Inhale them back to center. Exhale, right hand turn with the arms. Turn the gaze now. Look over the right shoulder. Inhale it all back to center. On the exhale, gaze stays forward while the arms make their left hand turn. Around. And bring it back around. Oh, we got a little fire alarm going on here. On the exhale, drop the elbows. Okay, continue on with that for a moment. Okay. Down you go. Inhale back to center. And on the exhale, pull the low ribs and take the elbows up. Draw the elbows up. And maybe let the head release back. Inhale back to center. And release the arms down. Let's go back into our forward fold, opposite side. Okay. Left hands or thumbs onto the ribs and bow forward. Do your forward bend. One of our first technical difficulties, right? Okay. I'm going to meet you down here in our forward bend. Beautiful. Find your down dog hands. Find your Sphinx arms. Pelvis rolls forward. We release the thighs. Keep the chin tucked for a moment. Bring the crown of the head towards the front of your mat. Maybe walk the hands out another notch. And then let the crown of the head release. Feel the stretch, decompression through the spine. Take the head back up on the inhale. And on the exhale, walk your hands back. Beautiful. Close your eyes for a moment. See what's going on in your mind, in your physical bodies. A little different from when we began. All right, let's open up our legs from all the sitting we've been doing. Move your blankets out of the way. Come onto all fours. Take your right foot back behind you. Curl your toes under. And push your heel way to the back of the room. Push the heel back, feel the opening of the back of the calf. The heel goes back, the crown of the head goes forward, and the back of the knee presses up towards the sky. Feel the sensation, allow it, release into it, and reap the benefits. Let's inhale the body weight forward onto the tips of the right toes, over onto the top of the right foot, plantar flexion of that ankle. Certainly necessary in upward facing dog, in sitting back in Virasana, to have the movement in our ankle, in this plantar flexion. Inhale back through center, and on the exhale, push all the way back. See, maybe second round feels a little less restricted. Good. Take the right leg forward, do the same thing on the left. Now curl the toes under, take the heel back, crown forward. Back of the knee pushes up towards the heavens. Find that opening. Inhale the body weight forward onto the tips of the toes, onto the top of the left foot. Find the plantar flexion of that ankle and mobility through the toes. Beautiful. Push back, roll through the toes, heel all the way back. Back of the room. Draw the left leg forward, curl the toes under. Let's sit back slowly into this broken toe stretch, a position of function and gardening and bending, finding this release in the toes and softness in the calf. See if you can bring yourself to sit back up so your pelvis releases onto the heels. There are customizations for this. You can put a block underneath your knees if it's too much, or a bolster underneath your buttocks. Try to find a comfortable position here. Low ribs in, heart nice and tall. Hands back behind us. Interlace the fingers and move the knuckles towards the floor while the thumbs are touching the arches of your feet. Similar to what we just did in position. Take the hands back behind you. Explore that again a little bit more. Pinch the pencil between the blades. Soften the buttocks onto the heels. Release the middle fingers towards the earth. Crown of the head comes up to the sky. Find those different forces again. Inhale the arms up. Turn the hands so the palms face the sky. You'll have a triangle in the little fingers and thumbs. See if you get your elbows by your ears. Pull the low ribs in, back bend your upper back. Release the hands back to your side. Hands come forward. Kick out the feet a little bit. Bring some life back in, and then sit back into your Virasana. If you've got tightness in the top of your ankles, slide a blanket underneath the insteps. See if you can find a comfort in the position. Take your right hand under your right knee and lift your shin off the ground. Clear the fascia in the front of the shin. Do the same thing on the left. Clear that. And take your hands back now. See if you can lean back. Thumbs on the little toes or sides of the feet. Draw the elbows in. Lean back. Inhale, and on your exhale, pick your buttocks up off your heels and push the front of the pelvis to the heavens. Remember, this one is not a low back arch where you're pushing your bellies forward, but it's the pelvis pushing forward and the stretch down the front of the pelvis. Beautiful. Release the sit bones down, maybe outside the heels. Pull the belly in, launch the child forward for your decelerating child. Maybe your head will come to the earth or a prop or wherever the restriction is. Stop there and roll yourself back up again on the inhale. Pull back using our core and back extensors to come up. Hands will release back again. Bend the right elbow, look over the right shoulder. Just a beautiful way of warming our spines up, and the left elbow, look over the left shoulder. Back to center on the inhale, and on the exhale, launch forward. Hands stay behind. Bring the child to the floor slowly. Decelerate. Forehead touches something. Inhale back up again. Low ribs in. It's a moving cat-cow here, right? And take the arms back. Maybe come onto the tops of the feet here and take the shins off the ground. If you're already finding tightness in your ankles, this isn't for you. Good. Put your shins back down again. Take your hands forward. Come onto all fours. Take the knees wide as the shoulders or the hips, and curl your toes under. Inhale. On the exhale, let's push back, not to child's pose, but just push your buns back and create the arch in your low back. It's the same back in downward facing dog and our forward bends. Inhale the body weight forward onto the tops of the feet, more plantar flexion. Press the hands into the ground and see if you can shine your heart forward, opening up through thoracic spine, Cobra. Let's go back and forth with that a few times. Inhale, curl the toes under, push back, arch the back, spread the sit bones. Feel the deep flexion in your hips. Inhale forward, release the feet, find the stability in your arms so there's no rounding of the upper back, but the heart shines through to release into this extension. Beautiful. One more time. Curl the toes under, send the buns back. Think of the articulation of the pelvis over those fixed thigh bones. Inhale the body weight forward, very stable arms, heart shines through, big open heart, beautiful. Let's bend our elbows and slowly put your pelvis down onto the ground. And then push back up again right into wide child. Knees go wide, big toes touch, push back. We've warmed it up. This is just deeper flexion in our hips now and in your knees. See if you can push back. Your hands stay in down dog, then they return to Sphinx, and then forehead touches the earth. Shift the pelvis right and left, provided it's not too pinchy in your hips. Mobilize that hip joint, move all the synovial fluid, all our lubricating fluid through the joints. Bring the pelvis back to neutral. Inhale your body weight forward through that scared cat. Take the feet apart. Release back. One more time into our hanging cobra. We'll bend our elbows and put our pelvis onto the ground. Keep the elbows in nice and tight. And push back up again. Beautiful. Let's take our right foot forward onto the mat. And left leg is back into a low lunge. So your right ankle is forward of the right knee to start with. Left foot anchors into the ground. So push the left foot down. Keep the pelvis in neutral. With the left foot pressed down, start to bring the right knee forward. So with that break on behind you, that anchor, the stretch should be down the front of the left hip. You can't see on this side, but you will on the other side. It's the iliopsoas complex, our hip flexors. Be sure that you're keeping awareness of keeping the pelvis in neutral. Don't let it go too far into an anterior arch and go for the stretch of the front of that left thigh. Inhale your arm up. Reach the fingertips up to the sky. Push the left foot down into the earth and see if you can back bend from your upper back as that left hand goes back behind you. If you've got the stability, go ahead and look up. Bring the gaze back to neutral. Put the left hand onto the left hip and draw yourself back up onto the top of the left knee. You'll need to pull up your egg and tack in your belly to support the core. Take the right leg back, take the left leg forward. See if you can do that with as little wobbling as possible. Left foot forward of the knee, right foot presses into the earth. Inhale. Exhale, draw the body forward. It's from the opening of the front of the hip. It's not accentuating the low back arch, but instead feeling the stretch down the front of the thigh here. Beautiful. Inhale the right arm up. Reach the fingers to the sky, maybe back behind you. The bend is from the upper back. Keep the press of the right foot. See if you can look up for the hand to find your balance, the proprioception and awareness. Right hand to pelvis. Bring yourself back onto your tip of the right knee. Find the core stability so when you switch your legs back to the other side, there's as little wobbling as possible. Right foot forward of the knee. Inhale. Exhale, push the top of the left foot into the earth. Draw the right knee forward. Maybe a little bit more open second round, right? Inhale the left hand up and take it back behind you a bit. Good. Bring it back to neutral and take the left hand over the midline, opening up the side body. Left hand back to center. Flex your hips and come forward. See how the spine isn't rounding. The hips flex forward, reach, and take that left elbow outside of the right knee and put your palms together. See if maybe you can get your thumbs onto your heart and take your right elbow up to the sky for some rotation. Keep the press of the feet and the awareness of the core, and there'll be less wobbling. Pull it back around to center, onto the left knee. Keep the breath alive. Switch the legs back, left side. Left foot forward, right leg back. Inhale. On the exhale, push the top of the right foot into the earth. Draw the body forward from the opening yummy of these hip flexors. Don't load your low back. Inhale the right arm up and take it back behind you. Maybe look, maybe don't. Bring it back to neutral and then take it over to the side, opening the side body. Back to center, reach forward, flex from the hips, but keep the arch in your back. Reach way forward, see if you can get the elbow outside, right elbow outside left knee. Take your palms and put them together. Maybe touch the thumbs to the heart, and maybe take the elbow up. Customize for your abilities. Find a stable platform. Come on back to neutral. Hands on the hips. Take the left leg back. Let's do a modified camel here. Bend your knees. Put your hands onto the tops of the buttocks and draw the elbows in. Inhale. On your exhale, push your hips forward. Open the fronts of the hips. More hip flexor opening. Try not to grip so hard with your glutes. Start to push through the heart. Keep the chin tucked to begin and lean back from the opening of the front of the hips. Maybe your hands go onto your heels, maybe nowhere near that. Just stay with your hands on your back. Keep your low belly in. See if you can follow through now with letting the head release back. Inhale the head back to center. On the exhale, pull to neutral. Let's put our hands down on the ground and we're going to back into pigeon. Fingertips on the ground with claw hands or onto your blocks. So we want to use the muscles to make the movement happen. Just real quickly, let me show you what we're going to do. Left knee is in the center of the mat, and I'm going to draw the right leg around the left. This is not possible for many people. So if that is not working, just simply bring your leg around on the other side, and we'll meet you over there. Okay, guys. Up on your fingertips or on some blocks. Curl the toes under right foot. Inhale, and on the exhale, push the right leg back. Slide it back. Way back. Inhale, draw it forward onto the top of the foot, plantar flexion. Touch the right knee to the right elbow and to the armpit. Stay in this plantar flexion position for a moment, and then bring the right knee around the left, if at all possible. Let's back out of it. Inhale back, so knee goes into armpit, elbow, curl the toes, send it way back. Inhale forward, top of the foot, elbow, armpit, and around, and marry the knees together. You can flatten down onto your palms now or stay up on blocks or fingertips. Those of you who are very open and like to practice pigeon with your right leg forward and shin parallel to the front of the mat, go for it. Otherwise, just keep them back like this. Okay, let's walk back into pigeon now. Take your hands and walk them back and use the left foot, the toes of the left foot, and walk back. Let's meet back in the top of the pose. Take your time, walk it back. Left foot and hands, left foot and hands. Either stay on your palms or on your fingertips or on blocks. Be sure you're not jamming into the low back. See if you can open up through your heart. Release the left foot, top of the left foot, and reach back. Press the top of the left foot into the earth, hold it down on the ground, and from that anchor, draw the body weight forward. So we've thrown down that anchor, and from that, we can find the lane. See if you can lay your belly chest over that right thigh for a moment, and take your arms forward for your Sphinx arms. Pressing the hands and elbows into the earth, we find the length to our spines, right? The pelvis is kind of locked in place here. The body weight holding the pelvis down, find the length to your spine. Perhaps look up for a moment. We're going to try to internally rotate this right hip. I'm going to take my right hand into the top of the hip crease. I'm going to push down onto the thigh, and then I'm going to move my thumb towards my groin, which will level off my pelvis and allow for more drop into the pose. See if you can figure that out. Come back onto Sphinx arms, or maybe your pillow arms resting your forehead down. Maybe use a whole bunch of props to rest yourself on. Please find your end pigeon. Let's hang out for a breath or two or three. Try to deepen the pose on every exhalation, crawling the toes of the left foot back, envisioning that right hip releasing into internal rotation. Beautiful. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders and press yourself up. See if you found some flexibility to your spine and opening to your hip flexors and right piriformis and deep six. Let's transition to the other side through plank pose. So take your left foot and curl your toes under. Find stable arms so that when the right leg goes back, you can rely on your arms and your left leg and your core. Inhale, exhale, take it back into a smooth transition. Push the heels back, crown of the head forward, pull the belly up. Be sure you're not in a jackknife or letting your belly hang to the earth. See if you can hang out with that for a breath or two. Build some strength, some power. Good, let's put our knees down and do the other side. Come onto your fingertips, to your blocks, whatever's good for you. Let's take the right knee to the center of the mat. Inhale the left leg. Whoops, sorry. Let's push back first. Push way back. Yep. Inhale it forward, top of the left foot. Slide forward. Left knee will touch the elbow, armpit. Stay on the top of the foot for a moment and circle around. See if you can use the muscles to bring you around. Inhale it back around, touching and pushing back. Push way back, all the way back. Let's bring it through again. Inhale. On the exhale, drag it forward and around. Marry the knees together. Flatten down onto the palms if that's part of you, or keep yourself up on your fingertips or blocks. Walk the toes of the right foot back and your hands back. Let's meet back there in a moment or two. Find your entree into the top of pigeon. Pull the low ribs in, bring the heart nice and tall. Remember, it's not from your neck and not going so deep into your low back. Use the toes right foot one more time, pull back. Push the top of the right foot into the earth, that's your anchor. Draw yourself forward. Let the belly chest release onto the left thigh. Take your arms forward for Sphinx. Pressing hands and elbows into the earth, bringing the crown of the head to the front of your mat, finding the length to your spine. Feels so good. Level the pelvis. Take the left hand, top of left hip crease, push down onto the femur, and then internally rotate it if possible. Maybe you'll feel your pelvis kind of release into place. Come back to your Sphinx arms, maybe to your pillow arms, maybe even take your arms out in front of you and stretch the arms way out to the top of the mat. See what feels right for you. 3 breaths here. Rather than holding and waiting to come out of the pose, soften into it. Don't go to the point where it's so uncomfortable, but stay away from that and work more into your softening. Wonderful. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Have your heart nice and tall. Curl your toes under right foot. And pull the right leg forward. Let's balance on our knees. That was all external rotation, except for the end where we try to inspire internal. Have your feet off the floor. Go ahead and take your ankles to the outside of your mat. That's internal rotation. Look back at your right foot, look back at your left foot and see are they doing the same thing. Bring them in, take the right foot on top of the left ankle as they cross, and then open them out again and see if you see the feet come through the peripheral vision at the same time. Bring them back in, and this time take right foot below. One more time. Each side, take them out, internal, right on top, take them out, internal, right on bottom. Beautiful. Let's come into our sitting pretty position. Start on the right side, please. Have your right foot on your left thigh, and have your left foot either straight back behind you if you've got the plantar flexion in your ankle, or have it turned out, toes straight out. Feel what's best for you. Remember, guys, lots of people have tightness of the left hip internal rotation. So if you're sitting and your left hip is way up, put a bolster underneath the other side so the pelvis is level. Take a moment here and see if you can find your comfortable position. We don't look at this as, oh my goodness, I'm so restricted on this, but more like, okay, I know what I need to work on now. Take your hands back behind you. Prop yourself up nice and tall. Let your sit bones release towards the earth. Try to find a level pelvis. Keep the heart forward. Inhale. On the exhale, push the front of the left hip towards the front of your mat. So we're opening the left hip flexors, iliopsoas complex. On the way back to start position, the sit bone releases to the earth and the internal spiral of that hip happens. So you can either use your hand, your L hand, and internally rotate it. You can have a middle finger on the left sit bone and try to squash that, or just in your mind's eye, try to release it into internal rotation. Do a few of those. Try not to move the chest, just the pelvis. And on the way down, it's not rolling out, it's rolling in. This guy's an internal rotation on the left, this one's external rotation on the right. Good. One more time, push it up and release it down on your tall position. Use as much muscles as possible here and as little of your hands as you have to get your left leg over on top of your right. So lean back, inhale, and then your exhale, try to take that left leg over the right, take your fists to the ground, shake out the pelvis, and put your pelvis back down, maybe on your blanket. Big toe of the left foot anchored to the earth, hands on the knee, big open heart. Inhale your arms up. On the exhale, it's open twist. So keep your gaze towards the front of your mat as long as you can. Turn the ribs, 12 of them on each side. When the chest has turned, then turn your head and see if you can look over your right hand. Inhale it all back to center. Exhale, left hand turn. Turn the gaze, little finger, left hand. Inhale back to center. Exhale, right hand turn, same exact thing. When you've gone as far as you can with your muscles, release your arms. Your left elbow will go inside of that left knee. The right hand will help to pull you into a bit more rotation. Anchored left big toe to the ground. Inhale back through center. On the exhale, left hand turn muscles. And release the arms. Rotate. Inhale back through center, release your hands. Let's take this leg back where we found it. Same start position for our beast pose now. Press foot to thigh, thigh to foot. We find our bandhas, the whole energy line holding us nice and stable. Take your hands, make a right hand turn. The right arm will go out further than the left. Let's drop down onto Sphinx arms. The left elbow is touching the right knee, the right hand is forward a bit. This is how we can get more length to our spine. If your underneath leg is pinchy, take that right knee forward and it should decrease the pinch some. Inhale. On the exhale, push the hands and elbows into the earth and find the length to your spine. Look at that. It's millimeters of length that we're reclaiming. Take the left arm forward for Sphinx arms, pressing hands and elbows into the earth. Find that long body. Think of yourself rotating from the bottom of the rib cage, addressing the heart towards the earth, and put a prop underneath, or stay up on your elbows, or maybe you can put your body down on the earth.
resting the forehead on the pillow arms. Straighten the left leg now, send it down the mat. It's a Tadasana leg, toes pulled towards face, and you'll take that left leg back behind you, opening your hip flexors even more, right? Beautiful. See if you can spin the heart towards the earth a little bit more, and maybe you'll rest your forehead down on the ground. Find the breath here, 1 or 2, 3 long breaths. Draw the left leg back up. Walk yourself back up to start position. We lost our camera. I wonder how long that's been going on.
Okay, guys, not sure what just happened there. Man, technical difficulties today. Okay, which way were we? This way. Let's take our right hand out. Your elbow down. Lengthen out your spine. I'm not sure what's going on here today. Take your elbow up and reach out. So nothing ever happens for weeks, and then one day we have all these little things. They're testing me. Inhale back up and switch to the other side. Excuse me, Lena. Left elbow goes down to the earth and maybe onto your side and lengthen out. Inhale back up and to the right, lengthen out. Inhale back up and out. Beautiful. Back to neutral. Let's switch our legs to the other side. See what this side feels like compared to the other. Right foot back, left foot, hands tall. You can have your right foot out to the side if you'd like, or straight back. Inhale. On your exhale, push your right hip forward. Let your right sit bone release to the earth. Make it as pure from your hip as possible. Push the hip forward, release to the earth. Use the cues we gave before, maybe middle finger on your sit bone, maybe your L hand on the internal rotation. Figure out what's best for you. See if you can find that rotation. Come to rest for a moment, big open heart. Let's strategize how we're going to get our right leg over our left. Lean back a little bit. Take the right leg, bring it around. Maybe fists to the earth, lift, shake out the pelvis, put your bones down. Big toe right foot on the ground, hands on your knee, big open heart. Arms come up, inhale. On the exhale, left hand turn. Turning. Look over little finger, left hand. Inhale back to center. Exhale, right hand turn from the ribs. Take it around. Inhale back to center. Exhale, left. Release the arms. Use the push of the right elbow, pull of left hand to accentuate your rotation. Inhale back to center. Exhale around to the right. Release. Use the arms to help in our rotation. Back to center. Beautiful. Bring this right leg back to where we found it. We'll roll into our beast. So remember, we want to keep a stable pelvis here. We're going to turn our ribs to the left. Bring your hands down to the earth. Use your props accordingly. Take the left elbow down in front, right elbow onto left knee. Press the hands into the earth. Lengthen out. See if you can find the rotation ribs up so your heart moves more towards the ground. Take the right arm forward for your Sphinx arms, pressing hands into the ground and lengthening.
Find what's good for you. Maybe stay up on those arms as they are. Maybe find some props. Release your head down onto the forearms maybe. And then straighten out your right leg. Push it down the mat as far as it'll go. Crawl that right leg back behind you. See if you can open up those hip flexors. We've worked them a whole bunch already. Pause here. Find that really yummy, long, deep, slow exhalation. Draw the right leg back up again.
Go back to your tall sit position. Beautiful. Reset. Let's move into gate. Left hand to the left side, bend the elbow. Inhale the right arm up, and on the exhale, take your hand across. Left arm real stable, right? So the shoulder stays stable, reaching out. Inhale back up, and on your exhale, switch to the other side. Dropping the elbow onto a prop, onto maybe just your right hip, wherever you feel you can go. Inhale back. Last one, inhale and exhale, reach out. And back to center you go. Beautiful. Let's make our way onto our backs now. Draw your knees to your chest. Take your arms around your shins and roll your low back up off the floor, provided you do not have an active disc problem. Inhale. And on your exhale, pick your head up. Put your nose between your knees. Find the full flexion of your spine. And then go ahead and put your head back down. Lengthen out the neck so you're on the back of the skull, not the crown. Maybe slide a blanket underneath if need be. And now release your sacrum to the earth. So as the sacrum releases to the earth, our low back find its arch. Have your hands on your knees, on the tops of the knees. We'll decompress our back now. Inhale. On your exhale, push your knees up to the sky, but pull your hands down to the earth. Your sacrum will imprint down and you'll release your whole low back. Do that a few times. Release on the inhale, the back will not flatten, but will come closer to the earth. And on the exhale, push the knees up, pull the hands down. Sacrum will push down, low back decompresses. Beautiful. One more time, inhale. Low back will release, and on the exhale, knees go up, hands come down. We meet the resistance, and we get to decompress our whole low back. That's beautiful. Push your sacrum down to the ground, imprint it, one hand on each knee. Open the knees now to the outside so they externally rotate and then internal on the way back in. And then reverse it into out. See which one may be more sticky for you, maybe right and left or completely different. Maybe they're exactly the same. Beautiful. Okay, guys, let's do our Psoas block sequence, one of the ones I am asked to do most frequently. Find your blocks. You'll bridge yourself up and take your block underneath your sacrum. That's the holy bone imprinted onto the block. Find a comfortable position for you. If it's not comfortable, keep readjusting. Close your eyes for a moment. Have your feet on the earth. Your knees are bent and your palms are up. Just find yourself there in this passive back bend. Straighten your right leg down the mat. Push that leg all the way down the mat. Lengthen it out. Sole of the foot, bottom of the mat. And then let it release, and the right leg will turn out to the right. You'll find the opening in that right hip, external rotation, right? And do the same with your left now. Straighten it out. Left leg down the mat. Tadasana for a moment, and then let it turn out. Readjust the block if you feel your back is not comfortable. This should be a beautiful opening of the front of the pelvis, the arch in the low back, promoting some
disc release, relief. Take your hands to the bikini bones inside the bikini bones there and pull them apart. So the front of the pelvis, we're opening up and irrigating the tissues, and you end up gathering the sacroiliacs in the back. Take your fingers now 2 inches to either side of your belly button, and then walk your fingers up through your belly to the bottom of the rib cage. At the bottom of the rib cage, go ahead and trace the fingers on the bottom of the cage all the way around out to the side. That's your diaphragm. Beautiful. Walk them back again to the center, and then down past your belly button, through the top of the pelvis, and onto the tops of the thighs. You've just traced your psoas muscle and encouraged it to release. Beautiful. Take your arms up over your head now, reach to the back of the room. See if you can get your right hand around your left wrist maybe and lengthen that left side body. Do the same on the other side, left around right, and lengthen it out. See if you can find those long arms on the earth. Great position here to find our breath. Inhaling, the ribs expand, the lungs inflate. We bring all that yummy prana into our bodies. Hold the breath for a second on the end of the inhale, and then let it recoil. And blow out the rest of the air. Got to bring your arms back to your side one at a time. Bend your knees, feet on the floor. Take your hands in front of your right knee and draw your knee to your chest. See as you draw your knee to your chest that you still imprint your sacrum. See how that keeps your low back in its arch. For a moment, let that go, and you'll see your knee will come up higher to your chest, but you're completely rounding your back. So push the sacrum down, keep the arch in the back, and maybe don't go into so much hip flexion, or try to find the flexion without the movement of your pelvis. Circle your ankle right and left. Snap out some of the tension. Bring your foot to rest and spread the toes. Find the strength of those intrinsics of your feet. Release that now and slip your hands behind the right knee and draw the knee closer up to the chest. Still awareness of the sacrum imprinting. Let's open our hamstrings now. Inhale. And on the exhale, keep your hand behind your leg, but straighten out your knee. So your hip will come to less flexion as you pull your toes to your face. Feel that whole back body opening as you pull your toes to your face. That is beautiful. Inhale the knee back up to the chest. Take it up, stretch the hamstring over the sit bone. Keep the sacrum imprinted. Inhale, and on the exhale, release again. Hand behind knee. Hip will return to probably 90 degrees or so and pull the toes to the face. Feel that whole back band stretching. That's beautiful. Last time, draw it in. Inhale. And on the exhale, draw it down close so that the thigh is close to your belly, chest, and pause there. Shift the whole right leg over to the right side now a little bit so the right thigh isn't hovering over the belly and the ribs. And take the sole of the right foot and stand it on the sky so you got a 90-degree angle of your knee now. If your foot is way too far away to grab the outside of it, don't think of that. Just keep your hands behind your knee, or if you've got a strap handy, put the strap over the bottom of the right foot. So you do not have to grab the foot if the hip is not allowing you to do that. Try to keep the sole of the right foot to the sky now, and here's the stretch. Take lefty really long down on the mat. You might find that your knee is slightly bent, so the top of your quad's a bit tight. You might find that your hip is not extending because your hip flexors are tight. Find your balance here in the back of the skull, the sacrum, and the left heel on the floor as you try to explore and open up the right sole of the right foot to the sky. Nice. Take the left arm up over your head, now reach to the back of your mat. Complete your pose. Half the happy baby. This is what our pelvis does when we walk. One side goes up, the other one goes down, and here we are trying to promote that. One hip is extended, the other one is flexed. Bring the left hand back to your side. Slide your left foot up. Put your right foot down. Let's do the other side. Draw the left knee to the chest, hands in front of the knee. Take it up first. Remember, keep the sacrum imprinted as you flex through your hip rather than just rolling the whole thing up. Circle your ankle clockwise, counterclockwise. Snap out some of the tension. Bring the foot to rest and spread the toes. Foot will relax. Take your hands behind your knee. Draw your knee up towards your chest. Let's open our hamstrings. Inhale. On the exhale, hands stay behind the leg. The hip will return to probably 90 or so, and then pull the toes to the face for the really yummy stuff. Feel the whole stretch in the back of the left leg. Draw the left knee back in again on the inhale. And on the exhale, straighten out the knee, pull the toes to the face, find the hamstring opening. One more time, draw it in. Feel that stretch, imprint your sacrum. Be sure that you're keeping the sacrum down. Slide the left leg over to the left a little bit so that the thigh clears around the ribs. And then take the sole of the left foot and stand it up on the sky. Readjust the block accordingly. Be sure that you're as comfy as you can be. You can grab the outside of your left foot easily enough. Do so. If not, use a strap or hands behind the leg. We know this. Keep yourself on the back of your skull, not on the top of the head, and straighten out the right leg. As you straighten out the right leg, feel that sacrum imprint. Notice where the tightness might be. If available to you, take your right arm up over your head, reach to the back of the room. Lay out your happy baby for a moment here. Bring the right hand back to your side. Then the left knee, put it on the floor, foot on the floor. Readjust the block as necessary. Draw the knees towards the chest. You'll balance on your sacrum. Draw the knees up. Take your hands at the bottom of your block for your bridge chest. So the hands interlace around the bottom of the block. Shoulder blades stay down on the ground. Nice long neck. Push your sacrum down onto the block and then straighten out your legs for your candlestick legs. So as long the legs as possible. Toes pulling to the face. Heels going way up to the sky. But the block underneath you gives you a little bit of extra hamstring length. Trying to find the length to those hammies. Inhale, and on your exhale, slowly let your legs come apart. Turn the toes out slightly, find the external rotation. Using your core and the strength of your legs to hold them in place. Inhale back, bring them back up. See if you can touch the inside ankle bones together. Exhale, let them come apart again very slowly. Feel the articulation in those hips. Turn the toes out for external rotation. Bring them back to neutral as you draw them back up. Again, we'll do one more of those. Inhale. On your exhale, let them out. Nice and easy. Draw them back in. Touch the soles of your feet together and let the heels drop down towards the groin now for Baddha Konasana legs. Heels drop down. Inhale. On the exhale, push the soles of the feet together. Grow the legs really long. They'll come up. Toes will pull to the face and the heels will go out the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, push the feet together, drop the heels low down towards the groin. Inhale, exhale, push the soles of the feet together, take them back up, pull the toes to the face. Then the right knee, put it on the ground, then the left, put it on the ground, lift your hips up, slide the block out from underneath. Put your pelvis back down, right into crazy legs as you go. Knees together, feet wide, arms out in a T. Inhale. On the exhale, right leg slides down the inside of the left shin. If you're 6 feet tall, your feet are as wide as the mat. If you're not, they're not so wide. Keep the knee inside the opposite shin so we strengthen our muscles and watch our sacroiliac joints, bring them back up and do the other side. So when the knee slides down the inside of the shin, it's safe position and we get the benefits we're looking for. Let those legs move up and down several times. Keep the legs moving. You have the arms, them go into the elbow creases. As the legs go one way, the arms go the other way. Inhale back up and exhale opposite. Inhale to center, exhale, roll. Inhale to center, add the head to it. Now head follows knees while elbows go in the opposite direction. Inhale everything back to center. Exhale, head follows knees while elbows go opposite. Add the eyeballs on this round if you'd like. Inhale back up. Eyeballs, elbows, head, knees. Inhale back up. Eyeballs, elbows, head, knees. Come on back to center. Take the soles of your feet together, Supta Baddha Konasana for a moment, arms out to the side. Do a little pinwheel with your legs, right and left. Take your hands to the outsides of your legs, move your knees together, and let's roll over onto our right side for our open book chalk trace. So on your right side, please. Hips, knees, and ankles at 90 degrees. On your side, your head on the ground, arms stretched out. We'll find the peace in our fire alarm. I'm not sure what's happening here. Inhale. On your exhale, slide your left hand up the right forearm, onto the bicep and onto your chest. Your left elbow goes up to the sky. Pause there. Inhale. On the exhale, roll from the rib cage. Take the ribs around. See if you can find the opening through the ribs as the knees stay together. Put the elbow down on something, the ground or a prop. Maybe open that left arm up to get a little more rotation through our rib cage. Bend the right elbow, fingertips to the sky. Inhale. On the exhale, push the right elbow down, lift the heart and roll. Push the right elbow down, lift the heart and roll. Open up. Pause here for a moment, looking at the left hand in that rotation. Inhale. On the exhale, grab the cloud off the sky, left hand, and print it down on the right, and pause. We'll do it again. Inhale. On your exhale, left hand will slide up the forearm, over the heart, and open. Maybe second round feels a little cleaner. Inhale the arm back up again, imprint it down, palm to palm. Come on, you guys. And let's do our chalk trace. So thumb and index of left hand on the ground. Inhale. On the exhale, take your left hand up over your head. Keep your hand on the ground as you come around. If you can't make it all the way around without keeping your left hand on the ground, then don't come all the way. Come around. If you can't tell, my dogs are freaked out by that smoke alarm. Oh my goodness. Inhale. And on the exhale, take the hands back up over the head and come around. Oh, yummy. Good. Inhale. And on the exhale, one more time, take it up overhead. Find that big arcing, sweeping motion. Oh, nice. Come around. And come on back to your start position. We're just going to roll over here. So take the left hand, slide up the forearm, pull the belly in, bring the knees up, and just roll over onto your other side. And let's go at that side. Starting on the left now, palm to palm, hips, knees, and ankles at 90 degrees. Inhale. On your exhale, slide your hand up your forearm, over your bicep, over your chest. Elbow comes to the sky. Release that elbow down onto the ground or onto your dog and open up. Pause for a moment here. Never get more range in rotation by pushing the left elbow into the earth and raising the heart and rolling. Left elbow into the earth, raising the heart and rolling. Pause in your open position for a moment. Inhale the right hand back up, grab the cloud off the sky, imprint it down onto your palm and slide it through. Same thing one more time. Inhale, exhale, slide the hand up the forearm. over the bicep, over the chest, elbow lifts. Maybe second round, a little more open. Find that open position. Inhale your hand back up, grab the cloud off the sky, imprinted onto your palm. Let's go right into the chalk trace, imaginary chalk thumb and index right hand. Inhale, and on your exhale, take it up over your head. Keep the gaze on the hand. If the hand comes away from the earth, that's where you stop. Otherwise, go ahead and trace it all the way around. Pause in your open position. Inhale, on your exhale, take it back around again. Come back to your start. And do one more of those. Inhale, on your exhale, take it up overhead. Yummy, trace it around, big arcing motion. Come on back to your start position. As you bring it back around. Whew. Beautiful. Onto your back, please. Take your right leg over your left for your eagle. Legs cross so the knees are crossed. See if you can get your right foot behind your left calf. The heels are on the ground, the toes are up, and the legs are long. We'll use the right leg to help to stretch the left side. Inhale, and on the exhale, just use the right leg, draw them over towards the left. You'll stretch the left waistline and down into the lateral thigh, tensor fascia lata and gluteus medius. Inhale the legs back up to center. On the exhale, let's roll. Left hand on the outside of the right thigh. Roll over onto your left side. See if you can see your right knee touching the ground. Your head is on the floor on a prop. Keep that right knee down on the ground, and let's go back into open book, but the legs are crossed now. Right hand is on the heart. Inhale. On the exhale, lift the right arm up and roll it over. We just did it, right? So see if you can find that opening that you just worked on. Use the left elbow again, maybe to press into the earth and lift the heart. Find the rotation through that rib cage where we want it. And wherever you are at the end of your pose here, rest for a breath or two. Trying to find where the sensations are and releasing into them, softening and unwinding. Inhale the hand back up, grab the cloud off the sky, imprint it onto your left hand, roll back onto your back, uncross your legs, cross them up the opposite way, left over right, foot behind calf, heels on the ground. Use lefty to stretch righty. Inhale, on the exhale, the left leg will pull right leg towards the left, waistline, lateral thigh. Inhale back to center. On the exhale, let's roll it. Take the right hand on the outside of the left leg, roll over onto your right side. Your left knee will go down on the ground. Hands on the prop or on the floor. Keep the left knee on the ground. Left hand is on the heart. Inhale. Take the left elbow up, and on the exhale, roll over. Try to roll from your rib cage. Press the right elbow into the earth and lift the heart and roll. Right elbow into the earth, lift the heart and roll. Open up in your final position. Inhale, grab the cloud off the sky and pinch it onto your right palm. Roll yourself back onto your back, uncross your legs. Take your legs really long, take your arms up over your head. Reach. Feel what we've done today and stretching out our fabric, right? Nice and long and open and hydrated. Our minds are calm and system into a homeostasis and even balance. Take your hands to your side, grab your mat with your fists. Inhale, and on your exhale, push your hands towards your feet and slide up the mat an inch or two for Shavasana. Cover your eyes or close your eyes. Allow yourself to drift off for a moment.
Touch the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth behind your teeth. It's a still calming point. Explore the roof of your mouth with the tip of your tongue. It's more movement or stimulation of the relaxation points. Let the tongue release now to the bottom of the mouth and let your lips part slightly. No tongue and no teeth, no gripping, no grinding. It's a soft mouth. That softness is relayed down through the rest of your system as you release down into your Shavasana, let yourself go. I'm reminded by the disturbances today that no matter what comes at us, if we go to our breath and just keep it calm, it all dissipates. So see if you can let that happen and drift off into your special place, allowing the breath, its natural rhythm, and a moment or two here of nothingness, a lucid sleep, a calmness. Our practice letting us drop in so deep sometimes to our physical bodies, to our breath. And the marble on the back of your skull, let your head rock very slowly side to side just to start to wake the system. Maybe begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, bring your physical bodies back around. When you're ready, bend your knees, slide your heels towards your buttocks, glue your knees and ankles together and roll on your right side. Pause there away from your heart. In our transition position. This transition position, such a yummy state, often inspiring thoughts of kindness, of generosity, of altruism, and seva, our selfless service, empathy and compassion, calmness and tranquility, peaceful. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. May the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. So grateful for our practice, for our community. Take a nice inhale, and on your exhale, float yourself back up to a seated place. Fingertips to the earth, sit bones down, crown of the head lifting. Pause here for a moment, feel your sensations, maybe the energies moving through you. Draw the energy up from the earth into your heart center, the thumbs to the heart, and the heart will rise. We pause here, reminding ourselves to be so grateful for all we have. Inhale. On your exhale, let your hands float forward, fingertips touch, fingernails touch, hands open like a lotus. Draw the sweetness back into your heart. Hands roll, thumbs back to the heart. Pausing here, maybe sending out a little bit of extra love to somebody that might need a little bit more today. Send that out. Take your thumbs to your third eye. Still contemplation, point, all-seeing eye, ESP eye, clarity spot. Let's bow to our fellow humans. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. Sorry for some of the technical stuff today, but imperfect, right? Thanks for joining me. I hope you feel released and stretched. It was a very hot, humid day here today. I hope this worked for you as well. Come join me again next Sunday, maybe Tuesday, Thursday mornings at 7:30 through Yoga Works Yoga Tree. I will hang out as I always do so I can see your beautiful faces and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. It wouldn't be the same without you. Thanks so much.